Okay guys, as you can tell, I'm very impulsively making this video. My gear bag is right here. I was just about to head off to the gym, okay? It's Sunday morning. I just flew in last night. I spoke at an event yesterday for 300 people in Dublin. And on the way there, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about, okay? I've spoken at events many times, but as I just felt I wanted to speak on something more different, okay? Because yes, the vehicle that I express my potential is online business, okay? It's consulting, it's marketing, education, okay? The three pillars of my business, that's how I express my potential. However, that doesn't matter, okay? Everyone has different talents, everyone has different skill sets, everyone has different expression, everyone has different spiritual experience inside of them that has natural ability to come out, okay? And as I spoke to someone the night before I spoke, we had a deep conversation on this, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to speak on something different tomorrow. And as I spoke, I didn't really mention the stuff I usually speak. What I usually talk about is creating an offer, building a foundation, getting your mind right, packaging your online business, packaging your company, creating the perfect offer, okay? However, this time I spoke a lot differently, and what I spoke about was purpose, okay? And a huge, I'm talking, when I spoke on this, when we had a break after my talk, I'm not joking, there was a queue of people that all came up to me and said, Adam, I really resonate, I love how, it was mind blowing. I'm saying like 80 people out of 300, that's whatever percentage that is, okay? My maths isn't great. But that amount of people all came, they're like, oh my God, Adam, I'm you 5 years ago, 9 years ago, 7 years, that's me. What should I do? And it's like, okay, there's something here. There's something here, okay? Now, one of the messages that I really wanted to get across was, if you're lost, it's okay. In fact, we're all lost. Everyone's lost. Some of my friends are worth tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're fucking lost. We're all lost. Everyone's lost. So once we get on that plane of understanding that, hey, wait a second, we're all fucking lost. Now we can start to accept that and accept there is no destination. The destination is the journey. The second you're on the journey, you've reached the destination. Okay? Now, there's also a cliche part of that, because I go back to myself when I was 20 years old. I recently turned 29. So when I was 20 years old, all I wanted was some cash in the fucking bank, man. All I wanted to pay my car insurance. I just wanted to be able to get my own apartment, move out of my father's box room, okay? I wanted to get away. I do get that, and there is seasons for intensity, okay? If you are 20 kg overweight, but your bills are paid, your destination for that period of time is extreme in losing weight, okay? There is periods of that, but life as a whole is a square. There is a square of life: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. So once we understand this, we can start purposefully building our life. And guys, like for hours yesterday, even when other people were on talks and I went to the bathroom, 3 people followed me out and they was like, Adam, this purpose thing, like, how do I find, what do I do, okay? There's a big message here. I didn't realize it, okay? Now, what I spoke on was how I was so lost back in the day. How I was so fucking lost. I'll ask the guys to show some photos on the screen here. Now, I was so fucking lost. I got fired every 2 weeks from when I was 16 till I was 20. In fact, nearly 21. And when I got fired one time, I came home and I said, I just accepted. I am totally lost in life here. I'm 20 years old and I am totally lost in life here. And I just sat with that thought. I didn't know what I was doing, obviously, at the time. I had zero education, failed high school, leaving cert, 45 points. For those of you outside of Ireland, that's 3%. I got roughly 3% in my high school UK GCSEs, we call it leaving cert in Ireland. I just sat there. Okay, I got fired on a Friday, the last Friday of December 2016, and I just sat there. And I was like, I am totally lost in life. Okay? Totally lost in life. And do you know what, guys? Today is December 15th. So that in 2025, That was 2016, December 16th. That is 9 years. Okay? I am totally, this time 9 years ago, 20 years old, I am totally lost in life. I sat with that thought and I got semi-comfortable with it. That is step one. I realized it's okay. It is okay. Everyone online has this persona. I'm not lost. I know exactly this and I'm an expert in this and my life is smooth sail and everything's compounding beautifully and I have no problems. No. And I actually feel guilty and ashamed when I'm in, for example, Dubai or Marbella and I post myself on the beach. I was on the beach for 40 minutes that day. But from 6 a.m., I was reading, meditating, studying, taking 5 hours of calls, stressed, putting out 2 hours of fires, like not being present with my partner, my friends, whatever. Like, and I post a photo of me on the beach. I don't like that. That's dishonest to me. Okay? So I don't want people thinking that's me because it's not. And I'm in these worlds, in these circles. It's not the case. So if you're lost, sit there with it. For a minute, sit there and feel it. It's okay. Once you do that, now you can start to think. Now you can start to be like, okay, what do I love to do? What's my square of life? What's my ultimate square of life? And this square of life corresponds so clearly with something that's called ikigai. I think I spelled that wrong. Maybe it's AI, I don't know. Too much AI going around the world these days. But listen, ikigai corresponds as a huge overlap with the square of life and ikigai. Ikigai is an old Japanese proverb that basically explains on this island how people live to the ages of 100, 110, 108, 107 because they live life so purposefully. They design their life in a structured way for it to become so purposeful, their lifespan goes so far. Why? Because they're living the square life and this corner here is ultimate self-expression. Okay? Now, the reason I'm making this impulsive video this morning, on a Sunday morning, is simply because I want people to get this. I want people to really understand there is a message here. Okay? And you need to sit back and be like, wait a second, if I'm lost, it's okay. Because everybody is lost. Everybody who's doing something substantial, they were lost at some stage. Everyone who is winning now was 100% lost at some stage. And the only way to learn is to go through that difficulty. So my message here for you to tell you it's okay. Now, how do you actually get out of this? How do you actually make a structure? How do you actually make something happen? Yeah? You get these corners of life: health, wealth, love, and self-expression. Okay? This is the square. Now, I know people who can run 10 kilometers in a record-breaking time without a warm-up. But they struggle financially. Okay? Their square of life is off. Yeah? I know people who have infinite levels of generational wealth, compounding, passive portfolios that percentages can retire kids, yeah? And they have a loveless life. I know people who have perfect self-expression, okay, but they can't live in the city that they want. There's so many. Like, once you become aware to this, your pattern recognition in your mind will look at the world through the lens of this perfect square. Now, this square is a correspondence of another version of Ikigai, but it comes from the greatest book I've ever read, The Game of Life and How to Play It, okay, by Florence Novel Shin. The greatest book I have ever read. You can read it in 2 days. It's 100 and something pages. This is the greatest book of all time, okay? So when you start to piece this together, you can be like, okay, how does my square of life look? You might have a beautiful relationship with your partner, an amazing family relationship. You might have come from a beautiful, stable family home. Everyone, you're filled with love from a child, and you express natural abundance of love and giving and forgiveness and whatever. But you might have $10 in your bank, and you can't pay for your fuel to get to work on a Monday morning, or you can't pay your college, or you can't pay something. Your square of life is off. So where does your attention need to go? Wealth. That's your awareness now. That's your awareness now. Jump into that. What do I need to do? Okay? You might be someone who has the wealth, but you hate what you're doing. You hate. This is another lopsided example of the square. I know people who have money, but they hate how they get it or what they do. If you are, I don't know, a corporate executive and you make 160K per year, but you hate waking up on a Monday morning, your square is what? Off. Okay? I understand. I understand. Like, I'm not that guy who's online that's like, oh, jump in and do it. No, I'm very real. Okay? I like to be, I'm trying to get this across from a very realistic perspective. Okay? You're not going to quit. You're not going to say, Adam Power told me quit my corporate executive role so that I can have some self-expression. All right? No, but you're going to become aware of that, and you're going to think, research, accept. It's the acceptance that's the key. The acceptance is the key. And if one person watches this video and it says, you know what, a couple of years ago I accepted I'm unhappy in my corporate role, or I am happy in my corporate role, but you know what, my square of life, like I love my life. It's just I'm 20 kg overweight, and if I lose that, my square of life is balanced. It's the awareness. This is the purposeful awareness, okay? It's the purposeful awareness I want to get across today, okay? And this is how to find purposeful awareness. It's the square, okay? So if you need to get your health in check, if you need to lose 10 kg, and you love your job, you love self-expression, you love to play fucking guitar on the weekend, play more guitar, but build it around a routine that's aligned here. If you're unhappy and unaware why, it's because your square is off. You can't have perfect self-expression if your dopamine in your brain is completely fried from caffeine stimulation, whatever people are doing these days, social media, scrolling, infinite levels of just access to everything, all the bad stuff and all the subtle attacks of today's world. Your whole square is off from there. Yeah? So that's actually a health perspective. You don't need to be so stimulated all the time from all of that. So if you're stimulated, get unstimulated, and then you can fulfill this. You can do that in 5 to 7 days. Okay? Alex Becker, write in Alex Becker. Becker. He will teach you how to reset your dopamine in your brain. Okay? So the Ikigai, okay, what's that? That is basically a correspondence of overlapping tools that you need to piece together to understand what's in the center for you to become fulfilled. And that center is an actual system of the perfect self-expression. What the world needs. What can you be paid to do? What are you naturally good at? Okay, it's combining, and it's a big overlapping structure. This could take you a while, by the way. This is one of those ones where you wake up on a Sunday morning, you go to your fucking local cafe, you watch the Ikigai video with a pen and paper, you draw out the Ikigai diagram, and you fill it in. Do it 10 times. In fact, I done this 2024 when I was completely lost. Like the first half of 2024, I was just completely fucking lost. Yes, my agency had fulfilled all financial targets that I ever imagined. It was brilliant. My team was phenomenal. I was making great investments, but I was fucking lost my Ikigai. I had no self-expression. I had questionable 50-50 health. I would say that because physically, yeah, but mentally it was off. I would say I had wealth. Wealth to me is not these $100 million stuff. Wealth to me is a lot less. I had 50-50 love, and I had self-expression. So where's my square of life off? Now, just imagine this for me as an example, yeah? If I was unaware of the Ikigai, and if I was unaware of the square, what would I have done? If I was unaware of the square, I would have been like, more money. This is what I fucking see every day. Your square is off and you're unaware as to why. If you're unaware of this, I would have said, okay, I'm going to go for 3 million per year next year, and then my square is going to be, no, I'm literally having a more lopsided square, lesser health, lesser love, lesser self-expression for more pointless wealth. That's not wealth. That's not profit. A lot of wealth is not financially profitable. It's not profitable if you would give it back to go back in time. That's not profit. That's cash, but it's not profit. And if you don't get, if I was unaware of this, trust me, guys, my life would have ended up a lot worse. My life would have ended up with a lot more money, probably a couple of Ferraris or something, okay, that I wouldn't even care about after 48 hours, by the way. When I bought my Porsche, I did not give a flying, I didn't care about it after couple of days. So I would have had a lot more wealth, sacrificed the other three. Now, look at my square, my house of life. It's so lopsided, right? And this is what I see people getting at. They're chasing wealth, they're chasing something else. It's the square, okay? And this is what everyone came up to me yesterday asking. And I said to people, read the Ikigai and read the Game of Life and how to play it, okay? Game of Life, how to play it, okay? The Game of Life and how to play it. Read that, okay? In fact, study and experience that. And then next, what you should do is read Cybernetics. My handwriting is terrible, guys, I apologize. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this off my chest today because I know if I don't do it now, it might not come, okay? So I just want to get this off. Now, what else, okay? The key for you to understand is to break this ceiling or belief that you think it's not possible for you. If that is building your business, if that is getting into the best shape of your life, if that is finding love, if that is finding ultimate self-expression, you need to first of all give yourself permission to allow that to happen. Because there's probably some programming in your life at some stage where people say, someone told you you can't do that, man. Nah, that's not like you. You just get a normal job. No, look, listen, you're never going to be able to run the marathon, man. You can't, you can never have perfect self-expression. You marry your girlfriend. You don't love her, but you just, no. We don't live like that, guys, okay? We find the fucking square because we give ourselves permission to do so. Bob Proctor, you make the decision. Right into YouTube now, okay? 2 things. Bob Proctor, decision, and Bob Proctor, the most important habit ever. The most important video you'll ever watch. It's like 4.5 million views. Bob Proctor, write it in. Watch it 20 times. Probably 1 million of those views are from me and my network telling people watch it 50 times. Okay? However, listen guys, just want to get off my chest today. This video was not planned. I just want to get it off and say there's a square to life, and the first thing you can do is sit down and understand, where am I at? Now, here's a bonus exercise, okay? You might say health, okay? What falls under health? Okay? Routine, home, family, okay? Now, here's another thing you can do. You can score all these out of 10, yeah? You can score all these out of 10. Now, if you're saying, oh, I've been up watching Game of Thrones, man, till 2 a.m., okay, because sleep could be another one. You're like, oh, man, I've been up till 2 a.m. watching fucking Game of Thrones for the last week, man. That's in the bracket, the pillar of health. This is your house of life, okay? This is your house of life. Health, wealth, love, self-expression. Another word for self-expression can also be happiness, yeah? This is your house here. This is your home, the home of you. If you don't have these pillars correct, it's going to fucking fall, okay? You don't want it to fall. So you can actually take all these different sub-pillars and you can make a score. So you might say, oh, I'm up till 2 o'clock, man. Now I'm sleeping in, I'm snoozing my alarm 3 times, skipping my routine, having 2 double espressos and scrolling on TikTok before I start my day, right? Your routine might be a 4 or 10, okay? Your home, you're like, oh, I share a home with this guy, or I hate my home, or whatever the case may be. That could be really bad, it could be a 2, okay? Then, don't even know what that says. Does that say family? Then you could say family, oh, great relationship with all the family. Everyone's good, that's the case, okay? 8 out of 10, okay? Then might say sleep, oh man, my sleep is great. I love my sleep, boom, 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 my sleep is 9. Now you have an average, okay? 4, 2, 8, 9. Let's just say the average here is 5, okay? You can say the average of my pillar of health is 5 out of 10. Now, how can you focus on these specific things over the next 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, even 1 year? Do this once a year. And say, okay, here's the thing. I need to fix my routine. I need to repair I gotta forgive somebody, okay? You know, I had an argument with my fucking sister 4 months ago and we just gotta let it go. Or my auntie called me a name and I called her a name. Whatever the fuck happens, guys, all right? I'm just giving examples. You go call your auntie, forgive her, get this 2 to an 8. And they're like, oh, no, it's gone to average of 6. Do another thing. You're going to fix your routine. You're going to cut the fucking Game of Thrones bullshit. You're going to set an alarm for 9 p.m. You're going to go to bed at 10 p.m. Man, I'm after getting my routine perfect in the morning. My routine is now 8 out of 10. Now we're at 7 out of 10. This pillar is on the up. It's profitable. It's profitable. Okay? I don't mean financially profitable. I mean it's a health pillar profit. The square of life is in profit. Now let's look. Your wealth. Let's say you, don't know, whatever the case may be, you're not investing your cash, you're not making good moves, you're not working on your business in the evening time, you're not working on understanding opportunities of today's world, you're not looking at the modern world, you're not looking at opportunity, you're not speaking to the right people, you're not reading books, okay? Now you study this, okay? Investments, okay? Cash, expenses, okay? Again, score all out of 10, see what you need to improve and get this as close to a 10 as you possibly can. You're in the wrong vehicle in work. I hate my job, or whatever the case may be. Or you know what? I really want to write a book. I want to help people learn how to fucking meditate. I want to help people learn how to read. I want to start a book club, by the way. So if I done this, my self-expression would be I want to start a book club in the future. Okay, actually, I've become highly requested to do that. So self-expression for me, but if I sit down and do this, which I will over the next 7 days, it will be, self-expression. Here's how I'm going to start a book club because I want to express that. Self-expression. I want to read a great book, okay? Right here in front of you guys, I have hundreds of books. Here's a great one. Here's a couple of great ones. For example, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. What a book, all right? Like, I actually only said to someone I only read 5 books really, but this is one of them. Another one is How to Win Friends and Influence People. What a book. Honestly, just Dale Carnegie is just a legend in his history. Another one, Robert Greene, Summarized Books of Mastery. If you read the big main Robert Greene books, you're a better man than me because they're a lot. Okay, the amount of times I halfway through that and I just couldn't keep up. So self-expression. Okay. You might want to self-express. You might learn to play. I know someone who recently started playing guitar and they love it. You might want to start learning how to play chess. You might have a gift that you love helping people to run. You might start running. You might become a running coach. You might help people you might start a local, guys, there's a million, you know what I'm talking about. There's a million examples. Score this out of 10 and see how you can get it up, okay? Health, wealth, love, happiness. This is your pillar of life. All these combined, it equals your purpose. And there's a book as well called, I don't have it here, it's in my other home in Marbella, The Way of the Superior Man. And if you're able to get the way of this is a very masculine driven book. It's for men really. It is a lot about like the way of the superior man really. So if you are able to get that book, it speaks on how important the core purpose is for men specifically. So if you're a woman, it might not be a fit, but you can do a quick diagnostic with the book anyway. However, if you read the book, it's phenomenal. And there's many phenomenal books just like that. So I want you guys to understand your purpose, okay? I was overwhelmed by the amount of people. Honestly, this is all they asked, okay? People want purpose. I do believe there's a lack of like guidance to finding purpose in the modern day world. And that's why I was literally walking out the door to the gym and I said, I need to make this video. All right. So guys, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to make more videos like this. And after the event yesterday, I was quite inspired and I suppose, felt obliged for my own self-expression to get this off and for people to watch and hopefully have a positive impact. So listen, much love guys. See you all soon and hope you enjoy.